I love this show. Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy Nick. Now, over the past couple months, I decided to become a Dragon Ball fan. Now, if you guys don't already know, the creator of Dragon Ball, Akira Toriyama, died earlier this year. And to me, I saw a lot of love and support from people around the world talking about how his characters made them want to achieve greater heights in life, always inspired them to keep on working hard, made them become a better person. Also, I saw KSI tweet something about it, and KSI is one of my favorite YouTubers, and seeing the love he had for Akira Toriyama and the support that he was saying that Akira Toriyama changed his life and he wouldn't be there without him, that really stuck out to me, man. And I decided to become a Dragon Ball fan. And I'll tell you right now, that was one of the greatest decisions I ever made in my life. Also, I just want to give Akira Toriyama his flowers. I wish I could have gave them to you when you was alive. But man, I just want to thank you for the series that you created, the characters that you created. Honestly, I feel like this show has honestly made me a better person. And Goku as a character, he's an icon, man. Icon to many. Now for today's video, I want to start a new series talking about all of the Dragon Ball shows that I will be watching. Now I'm going to be doing a little summary of my review, everything of the main canon shows of Dragon Ball. That being the original Dragon Ball series, Dragon Ball Z Kai, and Dragon Ball Super. The reason why I'm not doing original Dragon Ball because I'm not going to watch all 291 episodes of that series. That's too much. Today we're going to be talking about the original Dragon Ball series, Dragon Ball. Now before we start today's video off, if you guys haven't already and you do enjoy videos like this, make sure you click that subscribe button, man. Let's get to 3,000 subscribers in the next week. 3,000 subscribers. Can we do it? Let me know. Also leave a like on this video so we can get more content just like this. Also, tell me in the comment section below, what is your favorite original Dragon Ball episode and why? Now with that being said, let's get right into the video.
And the baby Goku grew to be a strong, healthy boy. But his life would be forever changed when he met a girl named Bulma and joined her on her quest to find the Dragon Balls, 7 magic orbs that when gathered together would call forth the dragon Shenron to grant a single wish. Goku met many new friends in his travels and honed his skills as a pupil of the great martial artist Master Roshi, as he was forced to defend himself and his friends against a host of dangerous opponents. Goku's toughest test came when he faced the powerful villain King Piccolo, but the help of the sage Korin allowed Goku to tap into vast reserves of still-hidden strength. The true extent of Goku's otherworldly powers was revealed, and with a mighty charge, King Piccolo's quest for world domination came crashing to a halt. However, with his dying breath, King Piccolo had time to hatch one final scheme. 3 years later, Piccolo Jr. appeared before a grown-up Goku, looking to avenge his father and resume his evil plan. And though the two were almost equally matched, in the end, the new Piccolo still could not withstand Goku's might.
Now, before we start talking about the sagas and everything like that, I want to talk about the characters. Now, the main characters I'll be talking about today will be Goku, Bulma, Master Roshi, Krillin, Yamcha, and Tien. Now, we'll talk about Chaozu, but nobody cares about Chaozu. Let's talk about the main person of the show besides Goku, Bulma. Now you may be saying, why would Bulma be the main person? Bulma, to me, is the main character. She created the Dragon Radar. And she was 16 years old creating the Dragon Ball Radar. She gotta be pretty damn smart. Now, Bulma, to me, is one of the main casts of Dragon Ball. Not just because she's the first character we meet besides Goku, but she's also important to progress the story on. Now, Bulma as a character, she changes a lot in the series. Not just her hairstyle, but her character development. Now, in the Pilaf Saga, Bulma was just a girl that wanted a boyfriend. That's all she wanted the Dragon Balls for. She wanted Goku to use his 4-star Dragon Ball that he had for his grandpa to find a boyfriend. That was her character at the start. But then as the series progressed, she became able to make gadgets, help the characters out a lot, create vehicles, machines, gadgets, all types of stuff. So she became one of the most important characters of the series. Able to fix things like the Dragon Ball Radar, or fixing things that the characters travel on, or making gadgets for the character. She's basically the brains of the series, the smart person, the Tony Stark of the series, pretty much. Just minus the fighting, just, you know, the robotics of everything. Now, also, we're going to talk about another character, Krillin, Goku's best friend. Now, when Krillin first came to the show, I was like, he was going to be like a rival to Goku. But I love that best friend dynamic between the two. Goku and Krillin, just seeing the way Krillin grew as a person. I thought they was going to make Krillin like a trash fighter that he just gave up to Goku. But I like the way that he progressed over the series and always keep on training hard. Even though he didn't reach Goku status, but from kids to growing up fighting the Tenkaichi Kai with each other, especially against each other, I love that fight against those two. Those were just so cool to me, and you know, seeing their dynamic grow as friends, that stood out a lot to me. Also, I want to talk about Yamcha. Now, Yamcha as a character, I really actually love the way they wrote his character in the original Dragon Ball. From being a villain to anti-villain to being part of the main cast, I really love the way they incorporated him. The only thing I disliked about Yamcha, in my opinion, was him and Bulma together. I really didn't think they was really boyfriend and girlfriend, to be honest. I didn't really feel that during their whole time together. It was like, yeah, they're boyfriend and girlfriend, but not really. But if you don't know, Yamcha, when we first met him, he was scared to talk to girls. Bro was terrified of talking to girls. And then later on in the series, he can get any girl he wants. So, you know. But also we get to one of the main characters too, Master Roshi, who is also the master of Goku and Krillin. Now, Master Roshi, I don't think a lot of people are going to like his character if you first get into Dragon Ball, because of the amount of stuff Master Roshi does. It's inappropriate. I would say that. He's a little bit of a perv old man. Especially the Pilaf Saga. He was the most perviest stuff you would ever see. Now, they do tone it down a little bit in the series, but it's still there throughout the whole series, Master Roshi. But I will say, when I first saw Master Roshi, I thought he was a joke of a character. I'm like, okay, Master Roshi ain't doing all this. But as the series progressed and it gained on, I kind of like Roshi as a character. I kind of like how everybody just stays at Master Roshi house, even though he's a known pervert. He got launched, Bulma and everybody there just chilling with him and stuff. And he's kind of like the main guy, like a little dad figure to all of them. So I kind of like the way Master Roshi character is under that wisemanship. You know, a lot of characters ask him about questions throughout the series about, hey, Master Roshi, what do you know about this guy? And also the training techniques. Now, even though I thought his training techniques were BS, I see what he was doing with Goku and Krillin, showing them that you already have the skills to go out there and compete. You just needed that stamina, your agility. And I kind of like in half of the series, especially as Goku got more masters along the way. But I really love Master Roshi as a character, a little wise old man. Now Tien was a villain to Goku and then became an ally to Goku, kind of like a trending topic in the series. Tien, one of my favorite characters throughout the whole show. I don't know, I just think Tien is a badass. I thought he was the most powerful one in my opinion. Especially that fight with him and Goku is honestly iconic, man. But Tien to me is one of the best real written characters. Also with Yamcha, I also like how they came bros towards the end of the series. Those two friendship I really liked. It kind of actually felt like, and kind of like the dynamic with those two. You know, Tien broke his leg and then they just became bros afterwards. It's kind of like a dude thing, to be honest. Like, y'all first meet, it's a fight, and then y'all become best of friends. That's literally the most dudest stuff ever. But I loved it for those two characters to me. But Tien to me, before Goku, before the end of Dragon Ball, I feel like he was the most powerful character before the Piccolo Saga. Now to the man himself, Goku. When we first meet Goku, he takes on all the obstacles, never scared. Throughout the whole series, most of his allies become his friends. As a character, just makes you want to keep on going and inspire you, man. You know, I think a lot with Kid Goku in the series. Now, honestly, towards the end of the series, Goku does grow up. But I'm talking about for Kid Goku, it was like a David versus Goliath with most of his enemies. He's one of the smallest characters there, but he's taking on these big foes one by one. Head first, no fear in his eyes, ready for the new challenge, the big adventure, all the obstacles. No matter how hard it gets, he's gonna go out there and achieve it. And that's something that you love about Goku as a character. No matter how many times you fall, or no matter how many times you lose, no matter how many times you win, go out there and go be better. You gotta appreciate about Goku. And one thing I love about too was Master Roshi not letting Goku win his first martial arts tournament and beating him, so he doesn't get that pride advantage of, I'm already bigger and better than everybody else. He gave him that obstacle of keep on going, keep on achieving. I think that made Goku a way much better person towards the end of Dragon Ball. He took that lesson from Master Roshi without even knowing it, that, hey, if you want to get better, it's going to be people out there bigger, better, stronger than you. You got to go train and work hard. If you ever want to reach those levels of power or reach those levels of strength, you got to go train and work hard for it. There's always going to be somebody better than you. And I think that's a lesson for life, that no matter how much work you do, it's always somebody that's working harder than you. You go out there and go train or work hard like them and reach that level. You can, if you just work hard enough, you can go do it. Always take your potential higher. Never give up. But I think that's enough with the character. Let's get into the sagas. Now, the first saga we have is the Pilaf Saga. Now, the Pilaf Saga is the first introduction to Dragon Ball. That saga is more comedic relief than anything. It's not really much battling in the saga. It's mostly just about finding the Dragon Balls and achieving that goal. And honestly, the saga probably has to be, if not the second worst on the list. I think the next saga after that is the worst one to me, in my opinion. But this saga had a little funny ending of Oolong wishing for panties at the end. that's pretty much our biggest takeaway from that saga was you meet Bulma, you meet Yamcha, you meet Goku in Oolong, Master Roshi. Also, I will say this, we do get you introduced to what happens when Goku sees the darkness. We also find out that Goku killed his grandpa. Goku still doesn't know that throughout the whole series that he killed his grandpa when he turns into a giant ape-like creature. So we get introduced to that. Now on to the next saga, the Red Ribbon Army Saga. Now the Red Ribbon Saga featured Goku fighting multiple Red Ribbon Army bases and defeating large enemies. Now this saga to me was long for no reason. I got bored during some of the episodes. Some of the episodes was hype. Like the first part of the Red Ribbon Saga, I actually did like it. But when we get to the towers part and then the ending part, it just got boring to me. It was like a snooze fest. I was basically trying to hold on and watch the series for some points of the Red Ribbon Army Saga. It was a little bit of filler in there, but I didn't really just like it that much. To me, the Red Ribbon Saga, it was kind of quite forgettable, in my opinion, out of all the sagas. You know, the sagas afterwards is actually pretty hype, pretty gets you invested. But the Red Ribbon Army Saga is pretty much forgettable. It's not really much to talk about besides Goku defeating army bases and, you know, it's still going to adventure for the Dragon Balls. Really, the Red Ribbon Army is just trying to find the Dragon Balls. It's kind of like the first saga, but with a little bit more action this time. But I didn't really like the action that much at that point of the series. I know you'd be like, Dragon Ball's an action series. Why didn't you like it at that point? At that point of the series, I really didn't like it. It kind of felt forced a little bit to me. I did like the part where Android 8 told Goku not to kill. I think Goku took that lesson throughout the whole series, especially towards the end of the series, to not kill his opponents because it would be making them worse than what they are. Now, Goku does defeat an opponent, you know. He does defeat the opponent really bad, but it kind of gave Goku that lesson of not defeating every single one of his opponents. But besides that, this arc is pretty much forgettable. It's not that much stuff to really talk about. But on to the next arc. So the next arc is the Fortune Teller Baba arc. Basically, Master Roshi's sister's arc. Now, Goku's trying to find the 7th Dragon Ball, and he needs Fortune Teller Baba to show him where the Dragon Ball is. She's a fortune teller, so she has this little ball that she can show. But the only way to find that out is through fighting tough enemies, and you have to beat them. Now, Goku faces a plethora of enemies from the other world, aka dead people coming back to Earth. Now, during his fight, he fights his grandpa Gohan. And it's a good touching moment in the series. I'm not gonna lie to you, one of my favorite moments in the series when Goku meets his grandpa. It was kind of cool saga. It's like a little small saga, but it's one of my favorite sagas. Also, that saga we get introduced to Tien Shinhan. And I know I already talked about Xian, goated character, by the way. But honestly, such a good saga, a good fighting saga, a good touching story with the saga. I really love that saga a lot. Now we get to one of the best sagas in the original Dragon Ball, the Piccolo arc. Now the King Piccolo saga, it goes head dive into... King Piccolo is one of the most vicious villains in Dragon Ball history. We start off the saga with Krillin being killed by King Piccolo. Now, when I tell you that had me in shock, I was in shock. And Goku facing the enemies. Now, Goku was already tired because he just had to go head and toe against Tien. And now he has to go fight this giant monster that killed Krillin. He didn't beat that monster. That monster took Goku out. I think Goku passed out or something like that. Now, throughout this time, Goku is still trying to find his Dragon Ball before King Piccolo does, because King Piccolo's wish is to become young again. Now, unfortunately, Goku, who doesn't make it on time to stop King Piccolo from wishing the wish, Master Roshi and Chaozu get killed by King Piccolo, also with Krillin. So Goku, he went on his venture to find King Piccolo, and Tien was also training to fight King Piccolo, but King Piccolo just wiped the floor with Tien. And King Piccolo and Goku was going back at it. Like, I think it was like 4 episodes, they just going back and forth. And finally, Goku blew the strike, and we got this iconic scene, man. One of the most iconic scenes in Dragon Ball. One of the most hypest moments in Dragon Ball, by the way. Now, after that, Goku took a lot of damage. He had to go back to Korin's tower to get healed up. Him and Yajirobe went back there. Korin told him that he was able to bring his friends back if he met with Kami. Now, Kami is the creator of all the Dragon Balls, and Kami and King Piccolo are linked together, so they're basically the same. Now, the reason why Kami is still alive, even though he's connected to King Piccolo, so King Piccolo dies and Kami would have died. King Piccolo sprouted another Piccolo, aka Piccolo Jr. Now, after Kami trains Goku, Goku grows up to be able to fight in the World Martial Arts Series, and he fights Piccolo Jr. Now, Goku vs. Piccolo Jr., one of the most hypest fights in the whole series. So some iconic moments, them going back and forth episode to episode is super hype. And I'll tell you right now, adult Goku, I love the adult Goku. I love like this aneurysm, the funniness of him, you know. It was still had that kid Goku. The way they did it, transitioning from kid Goku to regular Goku, I loved it in a way. It was actually smart, very creative by the team. The Piccolo Jr. arc, Goku ultimately beats Piccolo Jr., but he gives him a sensu beam so that Kame doesn't die. And Piccolo Jr. tells him that they will be fighting again. Which, who knows, maybe they'll be fighting in Dragon Ball Z. That's all of the original Dragon Ball series, arcs, characters, and everything like that. I would do suggest if you're going to start watching the Dragon Ball series, do not skip original Dragon Ball. It's some of the most funnest, coolest, entertaining episodes you will ever see of a series. And I do highly recommend you guys watch this series if you haven't already. But with that being said, I'm going to end off today's video. If you did enjoy today's video, make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe. Also, tell me down in the comment section below what is your favorite Dragon Ball episode and why. And I'll see you all later. Peace.